because he just wasn't bringing in enough money. Some of these guys I really feel for. Let's help it. Let's get them in the room. Would you guys, American State Nationals, please invite more of your public servants, from police to attorneys to judges to county commissioners, and let's start sticking them in the room. Let me debate with them. They can't out-debate me. I learned that in over 2,000 court cases. I've been in more than 2,000 courtrooms. I watched my wife in court destroy judges' knowledge on the law. Absolutely destroy it. I watched her stand and defend her clients to the point where she's thrown in jail for contempt. She'll defend them to the death. And sometimes that pisses off judges, especially ones that are Clinton appointees or Obama appointees. Those federal judges don't like her quote the Constitution. But they can't argue with her. She throws Administrative Procedures Act Section 6 at it. They don't want you in court arguing for people if you're not a bar member or a member of the club. But their own Administrative Procedures Act says you can. In fact, it tells you specifically that you don't have to be a bar member to help someone, to counsel someone. That you can choose any counsel of your choosing, regardless of them being a bar member. Read the Administrative Procedures Act, Section 6.
Shall I quote that?
You want to quote it? He doesn't need to, but you can. I mean, they can do their research. See, our job is to make them aware of it. It's your job to do your own research. If you're not good at research, that's what the Telegram channel's for and the web pages. Ask your questions on it. We've got so many good admins. Are they right 100% of the time? No, they're not. But when I see that they're wrong, I correct them. See? But most of the time, they're pretty darn good. And I haven't had to correct them very often. And I don't have the time to watch over them very often anymore. And the more they learn, the less I have to watch over them. So it's going to be a great thing once we're all trained up. So get trained up. I need you. Okay? Especially you. I need you. I need you. So take it seriously.
Talking all about how and why CPS gets paid for school service.
I'm going to. I did get off track just a little bit because I get so fired up over the whole thing. And I got prayed over, and that really threw me off. That brings me into a more spiritual mode and less of a, sometimes I just got a rant mode. Okay? How does CPS get paid? If there are children where they know both the mother and father, which is most of the time, okay? Most of the time. Every child is worth so much money. They can take $1.5 million out of the mother's Shasta QB trust if they can take the child away and terminate her parental rights. They can take $1.5 million out of the father's Shasta QB trust if they know who the father is and they terminate his rights. They usually terminate parental rights in 18 to 24 months after they've run them through hoops. Here's what they do. It's pretty interesting. I've got attorneys, guardian ad litems on tape telling their co-workers how they steal children from parents and how much money they earn doing it. and I have the tapes. AFSCME and Title IV Social Security, over 18 to 24 months, pays them an additional $300,000. If a state can collect child support from you, now Oklahoma is one of the lowest paid states. Texas is the second to the highest, only behind California, in how much money they make, and about what I'm about to tell you. If the state of Texas can collect $1,000 from one of the parents in child support and give some of that to the other parent, they keep some, it's management fee. Sometimes some states don't keep any, they give it all back. And the reason is this: in Texas, for every dollar they collect, the federal government reimburses the state $12.29. So if they collect $1,000 from you to give it to your ex-wife for child support, the state gets $12,290. Texas is the second highest. Every state, the amount's different. So you have to check. Title IV, I believe it's E, funds regarding child support. So the state gets paid to do that. They could just as easily enforce a private contract without getting federal funding. But they do. Child Protective Services gets incentives for the more children they take. Each individual agent, if they take a certain number of child per month, they get a bonus. That incentivizes them to take children. I know more about this than just about anybody, and I'm so sick of it. I am so sick of it. I do not know why when they come to parents' doors they don't hear more shotguns clicking. I really don't. Honestly, I can't figure that one out. Started talking about the ATF earlier. They're passing all kinds of laws that are null and void. Every law ATF enforces is null and void from the beginning. Every time you go get a concealed weapons permit, you're creating a bond for them, income for them, for your state. Anything you license to do, you're creating a bond. Hey, Bonnie, you want to talk for a second? One thing, answer this one question. What is the name of the case you have on the windshield of your car that we were talking about at lunch?
Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. So what it says, the quote on the where you would normally put your registration sticker on
Don't
quoting.
tell them where and what, just put the quote.
Okay. The government cannot convert a right into a privilege or a license, sorry.
And
Cannot
charge a fee
convert a
thereof.
right into a license and charge a fee for it.
Thank you, sweetie. I'd like to get her involved. I'll tell you what, she has more up here than most 10 of us, okay? She can remember it. A state cannot convert a right into a privilege, license it, and charge a fee thereof. That's right? What about a hunting license? What about a fishing license? What about a tag? I mean, we can go on and on and on all day long of the things they can't do, that the Supreme Court's already ruled that they can't do, that they do anyway based on policy.
I have another one for you.
Yeah.
Hohenstein versus Lynham. It's Hauenstein versus Lynham. And it says this: there are no limits to the power of the people, or no limits on the people's power.
There are no limits on the people's power. Understand something right now. Again, I'll say it over and over. Government operates through the consent of the government. So I'm going to give you a quick little example. I'm tired. I don't want to make another decision for the rest of the day. And I can walk up to a shopping mall security guard who really doesn't have much authority. But I'll do it anyway. And I'll say, look, I'm tired, man. I love you. I just don't want to make any decisions today. I'm going to give you all my authority. You tell me where to go, what to do, where to sit, what to eat, and I'll do whatever you say. I consent. What did I just do? I gave you all my power. That's how government works. They'll create policy that is unlawful, that violates every Supreme Court decision regarding that subject. They'll create that policy. They'll create statutes for a specific group of individuals called persons, citizens, and residences. You know, those are all commercial terms. Residential property is a commercial term. It's no different than commercial property or industrial property. Its use determines its name, but they're all commercial. They're all in commerce. Because if it was private, it would be private property. See? Not residential property. That's what every child's worth to them, and then some. You see the incentive for them to take them? What do they take them under? I've asked a whole bunch of family court judges this question. In fact, in your case, we asked him point blank, and he answered it. Your Honor, are you operating under the doctrine of parens patriae, yes or no? And he said yes. That's how family court judges operate. The doctrine of parens patriae. Parens patriae. What's that? Latin for the state is your parent. Parens patriae. The state is the parent of the children. Really? Come out of the state's womb? I mean, how stupid is that? Right? Especially when we know the state of is a private for-profit corporation with Dun Bradstreet number. The doctrine of parens patriae. If they do anything to you, that's what they're doing it under. That's the underlying doctrine. That's what gives the state control. Because they created a vessel. See, I was born on April 20th, 1963. I'm going to be 60 years old this year. But my vessel was created on May the 3rd, 1963. Can you have the same event on two different days? You can't. The 4th of July is only on the 4th of July. It ain't on the 4th and the 10th. So how can I be one and the same as the vessel? I can't. See, the vessel is a ship. It's your shipping company. It's in commerce all the time in admiralty law. And a ship was created, a trust was created on its behalf, called Cessna Cupi, killing this life. You became a ship on the ocean, holding the office of purser as the signatory officer of the ship.